Good morning, friends. We're on day 26 of Sprightly, and we're talking about listening to our bodies when deciding when and what to eat, because so often we chatted about this a little bit on a previous video, but we listen to all the voices out here, or we even listen to other people saying this worked great for me, and maybe it did, and maybe it wouldn't work for us. So we have to really, you know, reflect. And that's why the journal is so awesome too, because as we're reflecting and we think about, wow, when I ate this, I felt great. And when I ate this, not so much. And when I moved my body yesterday, I felt really good. I had a lot of energy all day. Those kinds of things that we know work, we can continue to reflect on those and do them.
Mhm.
And we know that not everything works for everybody. I mean, I have friends who run who, no, that's not, I've tried it. It's not going to work for me, but I like to walk. So I walk twice as far as they run.
Mhm.
So it's all those things that just feel good within us. And we're all created differently, and we have different interests and different energy levels and different lives and different everything. So finding that, listening to our body signals, what am I feeling right now? And if I feel good, what did I do that I feel good? And if I don't have energy, or I'm not feeling so well, what did I do to maybe deplete some of that?
Mhm.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so important, just listening to your body. And as Deb was talking about the creative movement that maybe you did during that day, maybe that night you slept super and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't slept this well in weeks. I wonder what I did differently. Well, maybe it was that you did something different movement wise during the day that day, or maybe over the past 2 days you did something differently, and now all of a sudden on that third day you're sleeping really well, or you have a lot more energy. It doesn't always, it's hard because the cause and effect isn't, it's rarely right away. We probably have to eat well for a period of time, especially if you've been eating the box things and the fast food or whatever. You actually might not feel well initially if you change all of that. Your body's really going through a detox because it's getting rid of all the junk that you've been putting into it, which I think is the other reason that we like to say, like, do things in moderation, like start small. Because a lot of times I know, like, we used to, I used to teach a plan where you did a detox, like a 7-day detox before, and you cut out everything. You cut out the caffeine, the sugar, the everything. And at the time when I would do it, I got such sickly headaches almost every time I did it, because not that I have a lot of caffeine, but to cut it all out at that point, along with everything else. Now I can do that now and not have a problem. But when I initially did it, it was a big change and my body didn't like it. So, and then, people were like, well, you just have to get through it. And that's true. But when you're doing life and you feel like crap because you've changed everything overnight, sometimes it's just a little bit more than, it's just a little too big a change.
Yeah, it could be challenging. And you do feel like you have the flu. You feel like
Yeah.
you have flu-like symptoms. So yeah, it's some people that works better, but if you just have to know that you're probably going to have a day or two that you're not feeling well. And if your life lets you do that, then that's great. Life isn't as busy sometimes for me now that I'm retired, and maybe I have a day or two to not feel good, but I don't really want it anyway, because I do still have things I want to do, and I don't really feel like having a day where I feel flu-like.
Right.
So yeah, maybe do things gradually. And
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
yeah,
Like sometimes just swapping one thing for another, and then just doing that over a time, because this is a life journey. You don't have to do it all today.
no, and it's not going to be a straight line ever, because it's life. It's going to be this. And as long as you continually go that way, or whatever way you're trying to go, then it's good. But yeah, life is never a straight line, ever, ever. So yeah.
Yeah. So reach out if you're in one of those times too, because, we don't like it when all of a sudden we feel like we went a different direction. We don't like it. And we may know that it's going to happen, but it doesn't mean we like it. And sometimes we need some support through that to say, okay, like, so what is going well? Because, you know, when we're in that funk, sometimes it's hard to see what is working.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
All right, everybody, we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.